I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me. I talk to the stars, but they never hear me. The breeze hasn't time to stop and hear what I say. I talk to them all in vain. But suddenly my words reach someone else's ears, touch someone else's heart strings too. I tell you my dreams, and while you're listening to me, I suddenly see them come true. I can see us on an April night, sipping brandy underneath the stars, reading poems in the candlelight to the strumming of guitars. I will tell you all the books I read and the way I
The trees have been such an important part of the Muny's history. The Muny was founded between two oak trees, and they've been such an iconic element of the Muny stage. And what we want to make sure is that that element is part of the Muny's future as well.
After 100 years, the Muny kind of grew up around the two big trees, and as a result, the tree was growing too. And so things like the roots growing into the concrete, and which actually causes weakness over time, and the fact that it was also not getting the amount of oxygen and rainfall over the tops of its roots began to cause a lot of problems with its root systems.
It had some known challenges, it had some known defects. We knew it was reaching that biological maturity that I mentioned. The whole tree was just kind of existing, holding on in this place. That oak tree, everybody at the table, from the president to, the lowly arborist, were just trying as much as we could possibly try to figure out how to make that work. From the very first meetings, we had the landscape architects, the arborists, the president, the managers, the stage managers, all the decision makers sitting down at the table, going through every possible scenario on what could we do. That's really refreshing, and it really gave me a lot of optimism that the Muny was going to do the right thing.
We found a significant area of rot and decay inside the trunk up near where the canopy started. And then also we found a fairly large cavity in the tree in the root system as it went under stage. So knowing that kind of information, there's no question that we've made the right decision.
All hands were on deck to say, okay, well, if we're losing that tree, we have to do everything possible to make sure that we recreate that aesthetic and that critical backdrop to the Muny that everyone really has come to love and appreciate.
One of the challenges we had here was just thinking about how we were going to keep this tree going and create a legacy for the tree itself. So when you graft a tree, you take pieces off of that tree in what's called the scion wood, which is the new growth. You cut those and you actually splice them onto an existing root and a piece of an existing tree. So you effectively cut off that tree and splice that onto it, and then voila, you get another tree. The idea being that that top portion, and once that all grows together, it's an exact genetic copy. It is the tree because it's still the growth of that tree for forever.
When we were taking a look at replacing trees, reforesting the stage, we wanted to make sure that we had the absolute best place that could provide us with the best chance of survival on these trees. So we went out to Canesville. Of course, we took the advice of the many arborists that have been helping us, and we walked through fields. We found the trees that we felt we wanted to have on our stage. They are sitting there in the field right now. And this nursery, this tree farm, is the same one that supplied the trees for Ground Zero in New York.
So we wanted to make sure that we're selecting trees that are, one of a kind, that are just like the actors, the people who really make the Muny what it is. I mean, you go through this incredible vetting process through auditioning. I mean, we wanted to do the same process with the trees that we're working with.
So I think it's important for everyone to know that in 2019, we will not have any trees, and that's by design. It's about a 2-year process to prep these trees for planting. So there's root trimming, there's pruning. In 2020, we will come in and plant the trees, so people can expect to see 5 to 7 large trees backstage. These are about 30 to 35 feet tall, so certainly they're going to be smaller than the big oak, but still big trees. The size of the root ball is about 9 to 10 foot in diameter, which is about as big as you can take down the highway.
When we hired the architect, we gave him 2 mandates. One, make the stage absolutely state-of-the-art. We wanted to make sure our designers, our directors, our choreographers had all the tools they needed to make the best shows possible. The second mandate was make sure we don't lose the look or the feel of the Muny. And what we were talking about there is the tree canopy. That is such an important part of what the Muny has been, and we want to make sure it continues to be a part of what the Muny is in the future.
Hi, my name is Andy Berg, and I'm an urban forestry consultant with the Davie Resource Group. The Missouri team of the Davie Resource Group is responsible for a wide variety of community and urban forestry projects throughout the state of Missouri. Our key role in helping out with this Muny tree installation project was to partner with environmental design and have these large trees shipped all the way from northern Illinois down into St. Louis to be installed on the Muny stage. We've also worked extremely closely with the design and construction teams to make sure all the conditions are just right to help ensure the success of these trees once installed. Lastly, Davie Resource Group will work closely with these trees over a 3-year period to ensure we get through the establishment. We are very excited to have been selected for this project as we get to continue the legacy of the Muny having a substantial canopy on their stage for thousands of people to enjoy over the next many years. Again, thank you, and we look forward to this.
I'm Paul Tenyus, Senior Associate, Studio Manager for the Louisville studio of SWT Design. We worked with the Muny throughout this process to select the trees and design the perfect space for the trees so that they could thrive in the stage environment. We actually took a bunch of the Muny staff up to Caneville Tree Farms to select the trees and tag them. It was a lot of fun. Sean Smith lost his shoes in the mud, but we had a good time, and I've been up there several times to check on the trees since. And I'm just super excited to see, the Muny stage was originally built between a couple of oak trees, and to see some really great trees going back in, to see the evolution of the stage and the Muny in general. It's incredible. We're super excited about it and feel super fortunate to have been a part of such an amazing project. Thanks, Muny.
I really can't think of a thing that symbolizes the Muny more than having trees back on stage. It's an intersection of art and nature that's iconic to who we are and what the Muny has been in this community for over a century. To see a new generation of oak trees come in and to make that canopy and bring it back is something that we're excited about, something we hope to celebrate with this community this summer.
The sentiment I really felt was really pretty moving to walk onto the stage and see the trees there, and the trees had not been there. But when I saw those trees on the stage, it just was a feeling of nostalgia. It was a feeling like the soul of the Muny is actually here.